to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Trustee Glen.
Present.
Trustee Cabrio.
Present.
Trustee Rogers.
Present.
Trustee Sweet.
Present.
Trustee Nitroki.
Present.
Trustee Burning.
Present.
Mayor Egan.
Present. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Okay. Next will be a public hearing for a boundary agreement between the Village of Lamont and the Village of Homer Glen. The regular meeting will be in recess for purposes of conducting a public hearing. Is there a motion to open public hearing for the following items? 1, a second amendment to the annexation and development agreement with the Forest Preserve District of Will County, FPDWC. 2, an intergovernmental agreement for a public utility license agreement with FPDWC. 3, an ordinance directing the conveyance of certain real property to the FPDWC.
So moved.
Trustee Gray,
Second.
trustee Durian, discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Well, is there any members, does everybody wanted to speak on this public hearing?
Is there anyone here from the Forest Preserve?
Or anybody would like to speak?
On the Forest Preserve?
If there's none, motion to.
Mayor, I would like to know how people were notified about the hearing. Was it about the 250 feet, or how did they handle that?
It was a publication in the local paper.
And that was it?
Yes.
Excuse me, what paper was that?
85 Southtown.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
We have a motion to close the public hearing.
That's where we're at now. All right, the public hearing for the following items were discussed. Amendments for the 2009 annexation agreement with the Forest Preserve District of Will County to modify the requirement for the village to install a walking path in conjunction with installation of Finman Creek sanitary sewer system. 2, it allows for the village impact fees due to the Forest Preserve District to be applied towards construction of the Veterans Memorial Trail Phase 1. 3, it allows for a 99 renewable license agreement for the area needed for the Finman Creek sanitary sewer installation. 4, conveys 2 parcels from the Forest Preserve District to connect the areas needed for the installation of the Finman Creek sanitary sewer system. The public hearing is designed to allow residents to state their opinions and concerns. It is not a question or answer session. Given that, is there anyone that wishes to comment on the above agreements? So there was no public comment.
Yes, I do.
John, come on up. Oh, boy.
It's been a while since we had a lot to do with the Forest Preserve, but most people here will probably remember back, I'm taking a guess at it, 6 years ago, when the Forest Preserve took over that property on 160th and South Bell Road and planted hundreds of trees over there, which only, from what I heard, only 10% grew, and it cost them millions of dollars to put barriers around them and keep these trees from the deer eating them. And when you do something like this with the Forest Preserve, I would really personally say, watch it. I've seen them cut down the Forest Preserve on 167th Street, and then they said that all of a sudden there's too many deer in the area, and with that they started culling and shooting the deer. Now, to me, if you take 10, 20 acres, destroy it, cut the trees down, level it, they didn't even put a baseball field out there. They didn't do anything. They didn't put a walking path that I know of. They just take our money and spend it on stuff that makes no sense. This, when we put in that bike trail, hopefully we might get a couple things that is beneficial to everyone here and the kids. We put in a bike path that stops at Culver Park, and it starts at 137th and Wilcote Road. It stops at Culver Park. It was supposed to continue west and eventually tie into this trail that now we're going to build. I don't understand why we can't finish what we're supposed to finish. 143rd Street, me and my wife went out this afternoon. We saw two people, and both of them were probably in their 80s, but when we went out, one was walking down 143rd Street when we were coming back home. The other side of the street, there was a lady walking to the old people's home over there. And it's like, why can't we get that sidewalk put in when I thought the money was appropriated for it? But the sidewalk still isn't in since the street's been put in. Other than that, it's only a couple of things, but anyway, that's with the stuff we're talking about now with the Forest Preserve. I'm just not a happy camper with the Forest Preserves and how they think and then how they take advantage of villages. Another thing, when I went to Home Depot, we had a group of people, or a lady come up here, and she's getting a group together, and they were going to start cleaning up the north side of Home Depot and the area there. It looks real good now. You don't see you still see debris, but today, yesterday, my mistake, we had to go up to the tire shop. The whole north side from Home Depot north is just bags and bags and, you know, all over the place. I mean, this community, it isn't meant to look like a, you know, a junk shop. Somebody's got to be responsible for it, whether it be Home Depot or whoever owns that vacant property. And like I say, it seems to be getting worse instead of better. So hopefully we can start finishing stuff we started and take care of the stuff that's there now. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Do you have any comments? Okay. Yeah.
Is it on the public hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kathy Myers-Boo. I have the property that's on 159th and Gowger. I'd like to address the sewer route and that the Finnebit Creek sewer route that this gentleman was talking about, the route that the Forest Preserve agreed upon was done at least in 2006, 2007 is when the route was agreed upon. I was involved in reading the documents, walking through the woods because I had property beside it to make sure that where this route went, it did not disturb or destroy old growth. Where the route is going through, where they're boring under the creek, there are no old growth trees. This is something that is needed to put your 159th Street corridor, which is being, 130 million is being spent on it right now to get completed. This is something to be used to bring development to the 159th Street from 355 all the way up. Seeing as my family owns the corner at 159th and Gowger, we need this to bring in development. We need it to bring in commercial development, to bring money into the economy for Homer Glen. I am completely positive that when this gets through with the Forest Preserve, seeing as we still live there on this property, I will be very involved in it because I'm there. I will see what's going on. If something is being done incorrectly or in a wrong place, I will be eyes on the ground. So I just want to tell you, as I have dealt with most of you already over the years, this is my 4th administration, am I correct? 3rd, 4th group of people that I have dealt with this. And you are my 3rd mayor that I've dealt with. So I am excited that this is finally becoming a reality. And hopefully this will help you entice more businesses into the community along 159th Street. Thank you.
Is there any other comments? Okay, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
I so move.
Gabriel,
I'll second.
Sweet. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries and the public hearing is adjourned. The meeting will be called back into order. Next one is for Bob Schmidt. Bob Schmidt and his wife Connie moved to Homer Township over 40 years ago and opened up the Hillville camping business on March 17, 1978. Bob and Connie have found Homer to be a great place to live, work, raise a family of 5, and eventually retire. They have witnessed many changes over the years and still enjoy the community they call home. Through the years, Bob has been a dedicated member of the community, not only as a successful business owner, but also as a founding father of the Homer Chamber of Commerce. Bob was instrumental in building strong business connections through the community and served as a government liaison for 7 years. Along with his service of the Chamber of Commerce, Bob has been a vital member of several of the village's committees, including the Public Services and Safety Committee from 2003 to 2015, and 2 years of service on both the village's side committee and Community and Economic Development Committee. Bob also served as a member of the village's police task force. We salute Bob for his many years of dedication, his outstanding service, and a commitment to the entire Homer Glen community, and want to extend a big thank you for truly making a difference. They gotta be able to hear me. All right. This plaque, which is over the plaque, is, we just don't want to drop this. So that's for you. And what it is presented to Bob in recognition of his years of service to the residents, community of Homer Glen today, May 9th, 2018. The plaque reads, "Making a difference, awarded to Bob Schmidt for your dedicated years of outstanding service and commitment. Thank you for everything you have done. You truly make a difference. Volunteer service from 2003 to 2017, Village of Homer Glen. You've also been a very good friend of mine for all these years, and I love you very much." a minute. You gotta turn around. You gotta look up. Come on, everybody. Come on, we're running first.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Love you too.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh, okay. Now we'll do And Connie, thank you. Because you are just as much part of this as he is. You still are. Thanks, Bob. Yeah, no, thank you. Okay. Thank you all. Remember, homeroom Glen is a special, and it's been undoable. Okay. Next. We want to give congratulations to Homer 33C girls bowling team on winning the Illinois Elementary School Association's Girls State Bowling Tournament on April 13th and 14th in Joliet. This is the first year a Homer 33C team bowling team has won a state championship. 24 boys and girls teams participated in the state event. After bowling 4 games the first day, only the top 10 teams advanced to the second day matchup, where they bowled 6 more games. The girls team, comprised of 8th graders Emma Punter, Debbie Countess, 7th grader Cassie Contos, if I got that right, Cassie. 6th grader Paige Chasik bowled an incredible 735 the first game of the tournament, led by Paige Matesik's 220 game. The team's 4-person scored was the highest game shot by any girls type team the entire weekend. When all 10 games were added up in the Homer 33C, girls team won by 149 pins. The girls state championship trophy is the first for Homer's bowling program, and I am confident we will see more. I would now like to recognize Hadley Middle School teacher and bowling coach Andrew Dole for leading the team through the season and in the state championship event. Coach Dole, if you could please step up. We now recognize the entire team. If we could get the team up here. There we go. Yeah.
We told you not to dance like
All right. We now recognize the entire team for their outstanding performance. We have a certificate for each team member. After receiving your certificate, please stay up here so we can do a group photo. I ask the audience to hold their chairs and applause until all team members are up here. So this would be Cassie Contos. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Okay. Demi Contos, Paige Mutesier, and Emma Punter. Let's give everyone a big round of applause. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, we still gotta get one of the coach. All right.
You want Sue, you need to back up, Sue. You need to back up.
Yeah, I just told you.
Okay, back up, please.
Coach, here's yours. We thank you very much for
Appreciate it. Thank you for the recognition.
We gotta go back there and get pictures.
Perfect. You tell us where we're going to stand.
No, she tells me where we're gonna start.
Perfect. Sue's in charge.
Together a little bit more.
right.
Or you might move your feet with me. And there, be right behind you. That's great.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Look at that. Look at that. Okay. Next, is there a motion to approve the minutes of March 29, 2018, Committee of the Whole meeting?
I so move.
Trustee Sluice?
Second.
Trustee Durian? Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Reports and communications from mayor and other officers. Mayor's report. The Will County Division of Transportation, WCDOT, is patching and resurfacing Headley Road between Parker Road and the Cook County line. Tree removal and tree trimming will also be occurring. The project completion date is June 30th. Road flaggers and traffic control measures will be present. Please use caution in the area. If you have any questions, please contact Will County Department of Transportation at 815-727-8476. Homer Township Road District 2018 resurfacing. The Homer Township Road District will begin the 2018 resurfacing work this week in Kingston Hills and Derby Hills with a tentative date of May 10th. Signs will be placed in the area. Please call the Homer Township Road District if you have any questions. It's 708-301-0246. And again, Bob, thank you very much. We really appreciate everything you did doing what you've taught us. Next, we'll go to the trustees. We'll start down with Trustee Gray.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no committee report, but I also would like to thank Bob Schmidt for all of his service to our community, for being almost since I moved in here, we were election judges together. And I'd like to point out to the kids in the back, the scouts, there's a guy you can look to for inspiration. He's a good guy. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Gray. Trustee Trachey.
I would also like to thank Bob for his time. I've known you since I've become a trustee for Township 12 years ago, and I do appreciate all that you've done for the community as well. I also have a report for the Parks and Rec Committee. It's an update on Heritage Park. I'm stealing your thunder tonight, George, sorry. Heritage Park Phase 1 update. Heritage Park stands at 68% complete. The contractor has installed a binder course for Heritage Circle and the west parking lot. Next, they will be working on spoil removal, setting the light poles, topsoil, and seed. Access for Village Hall will be at the east entrance. The project should be substantially complete by June 15th. Heritage Park Active Core update. As a reminder, the Active Core Phase 2 project consisting of a gazebo, sensory garden area, tennis courts, sand volleyball courts, bocce ball courts, corn, beanbag, toss platforms, a nature play area, challenge course area, and a fitness area. We'll go out to bid mid-May, or late May, I'm sorry, and we look to award bids in late June at the next June Village Board meeting, June 27th. We look to have it completed by October 31st. Heritage Park 319 grant area project update. As you may know, the village received a grant for constructing stormwater wetlands, bioswales, and rain gardens in Heritage Park as part of a water quality improvement project for Long Run Creek watershed, funded in part through Section 319 funding from the Illinois Governmental Protection Agency. These improvements were also identified as solutions to improve drainage in the Woodbine subdivision area through a study we conducted in 2015. In total, the village will receive $521,704 in grant funding, covering 60% of the total project cost. Bids for this phase will be advertised in May The bid opening is scheduled for June 5th with an award of bids at the June 13th village board meeting. Work will be substantially completed by October 31st. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee Truggy. Trustee Barry.
No report, Mayor, just to echo, thank you to Bob, specifically for your service on community and economic development. We're certainly going to miss your speeches, but something tells me we're still going to be entertained by them from time to time. So I don't know anybody that loves this town more than you, Bob, and you deserve all the accolades. So thank you for all your volunteerism.
One in that. Trustee Rogers.
I just want to say I hope you can continue to be president of my FAMCO. I'm sure we'll see you, continue to see you at some meetings and look forward to your input. But reporting on behalf of public safety, behind Mike Solomodovich is a sample of the signs that are going up at the parks. I believe there's 7 signs, 2 at Kingston Hills, 2 at, what was the other one? No, that was all, just 2 at Kingston Hill, 1 at the other one, and the sign we'll have a little plaque below it that says playground ahead. So we're still on schedule to have those installed at the 5 p.m. park prior to Memorial Day. That's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee Rogers. Trustee Sweets.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Bob, for making a difference. Reporting for the Environment Committee. We still have some red oak seedlings available at Village Hall. Supplies are getting short, but they're still available. The Homer Glen Environment Committee is looking for the biggest tree in the village. Nominations for each species of a living tree can be submitted and applications are available online. The deadline for submission is May 31st. As a reminder, our next stargazing event will take place on Friday, May 11th at the Trentina Farm from 9 to 11 p.m. Please check the village website and Facebook page in case of cancellation due to cloudiness or rain. I just also wanted to remind everybody, or as you know, ComEd will be installing smart meters in the village starting this month through or June. Just wanted to let you know, though, there is a deferral program that is available until mid-2022. It will cost you, though, $21.53 a month. Thought you might want to sign up temporarily to check it out for your house or check out further information before that happens. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Trustee Sweets. Trustee Gabriel.
Thank you, Mayor. Thanks for everything you've done. I think we met almost 8 years ago. You put a hitch on one of my vehicles, and we've been friends ever since. So I thank you. Thank you for your service. And I know you kiss my hand every time you see me. I'm reporting on behalf of the Homer Community Parade and Festival Committee. Festival dates are set Thursday, June 21st through Sunday, June 24th. We have a total of 6 food vendors already lined up, and that's Ruby Agave, Pelican Harry's, Davidson's, Cool Creations, Smoke and Z's Barbecue, and Pizza Mia. The lineup of bands is all set, ready to go. Thursday night will be the fireworks with a rain date of Friday. Special Needs Day is Friday from 2:30 to 4:30. The carnival will be free to all Homer residents and their children with special needs. We have many sponsors who have joined on this year. Ruby Agave will be doubling their margarita donation for all to enjoy. Mega passes will be on sale soon, if they're not already. You can reach the Village Hall at 708-301-0632 for more information. And lastly, we are always looking for adult and youth volunteers, so please contact the Homer Township Road District, who was gracious enough to pick up that task for us in our committee. The Road District can be reached at 708-301-0246. And lastly, besides that, you can visit our website at www.homerfest.com for more details on the entire fest. And that will conclude my report.
Thank you, Trustee Gabriel. Is there a treasurer's report?
No report, Mayor.
Village clerk?
No report, sir.
Village attorney?
No report.
Public safety officials?
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Lieutenant.
Good evening, Mayor. Thanks for having me up here.
Anytime.
It's a little bit long, but I'll read fast. Just want to let everybody know, early this morning, the Silver Cross Emergency Facility on 143rd East of Bell in town held an active shooter drill. The Northwest Homer Fire Department, Homer Township Fire, and Will County Sheriff's Department assisted in their drill. A lot of area fire departments supported also. The training reinforced the skill set of all participants and strengthened the already strong working relationship between the public safety agencies that serve your village. Notice of the event was posted on the Sheriff's Department webpage and Facebook page, and the Village of Homer Glen's webpage and Facebook page. All surrounding dispatch centers and departments were notified. There was signage in numerous spots outside of the facility to ensure that people passing by knew that there was a training drill in progress. And the drill itself was contained within the facility. We put the notification about the drill out last minute, so people weren't blocking entrances or getting in the way to video the drill or take photos and stuff like that, or just to see what was going on. Most importantly though, we don't want bad guys showing up to observe our procedures and how we handle those type of incidents. So that's why we didn't want to put it out too far in advance, okay? Because they would learn how to do the most harm, not only to us, but especially to the public. So we wanted to keep them from doing that. We do lockdown drills in our schools regularly, and announcements aren't made to the public prior to those drills either, for those same reasons, okay? Even though all of these precautions were taken, someone with access to a phone app posted on social media, and I'm going to quote it, "There are reports of a shooting near West 143rd Street and South Pebble Creek Drive. One person injured," end quote. This made numerous residents, especially the parents of school children, worried. This was about a little over 1.5 miles away from where we were at, so it wasn't next door, okay? Everyone must realize that you have a lot of responsibility when you post something like that when it is not true. This adds to the draining of public safety resources when they could be utilized to respond to necessary calls for service. I caution the public that just because something is posted by someone on a social media site, it does not mean that it is true. If you ever have concern about something, do not hesitate to contact your local 911 dispatch center to verify what you have read. Don't forget that if there is an immediate threat or danger, call 911. That's what it's there for. This is all very basic, I know, but in this technology age, too many people are relying on social media for their information, and they're taking it all as gospel. Too many people are too quick to make knee-jerk comments on social media about something that they know absolutely nothing about. I want the public to know, and the board, to be assured that the public safety is our top priority, and I know I speak for the local fire departments also. We will continue to train so that we are prepared to the best of our ability to protect you in every type of situation we're confronted with. Thank you. Thank you.
Village manager. Public comment. If you could please limit your remarks to 3 minutes, we would appreciate it. Victoria Haley.
Good evening. I'm not a public speaker, so please bear with me. Mr. Martin, you and I have been speaking for about a year now. This is in regard to the agricultural property located at 15064 West 143rd. My neighbors and I are here today because the agricultural land that's behind our homes is a very gray area. And at this point, we've called code enforcement, and I guess code enforcement goes out there, but not all of them are experienced with agricultural land, so to speak. And we're not getting any solid answers. We'd like to know if there's permits for the gentleman that's doing what he's doing out there. He's filling in the land. He's put in a road across all the properties behind us, on his property, granted, but it's against the property line. I didn't know if they could do that. Can somebody put a road against your property line?
Joe, you want to, or Mike?
I have spoken with Mrs. Haley a few times.
It's a gray area.
Over a number of times. It is an agricultural property. They follow different rules and regulations than our normal commercial residential property. I believe they are allowed to install a road. We are looking at if they're doing the drainage properly in that area. And I know there's some concerns with a fence that, that we're trying to determine what property the fence is on.
Well, the fence is escalated. He's now taken a portion of it down, and he continues to move forward with that.
So there's some discrepancies on what property it's on. I'm trying to get a survey of what that is.
Do we know if he has permits for all the things that he is doing on that property? Or does he need permits?
I don't believe he needs permits for things like roads and things like that.
Our concern is that he's actually going to be operating a business in the barn. And right now, he has equipment there, he has sheet metal there, he has machinery there, and he says it's storage. I'm hoping that it is, because now there's a drain pipe running from that business down the other end that's being buried. I don't know what's going to be put down that drain pipe, and we're all sitting on wells. That's a concern. My other concern is, I guess it did get turned over to your engineering and drainage department. Do we know anything on that, or how do us, as the residents, find out about that? Is there a drainage plan? Is Homer Glen approving it? Because right now, the road that he's putting in is higher than our properties, and all of the water will drain into our property, and we all have our septic fields out there. They will flood. So we would like to know what the drainage plan is. And if Homer Glen is going to issue them a permit for it, what the plan is, will it be inspected? I mean, there's things, and he just moves forward with this. And we're here today, my neighbors and I are here today to plead our case to you. We've already called code enforcement, they've already come out. And the motto for this gentleman and agricultural land and what he's proposing to use it for cannot simply be, he's going to ask for forgiveness instead of permission. We all built our homes here. We're residents here. We love it. We want to raise our families here. We didn't ask for permission. Or excuse me, we didn't ask for forgiveness. We asked for permission. We got our permits. We did everything according to the rules and regulations that we had to. Every time my neighbors or myself ask, you try to help me as much as you can, but the answers we get back is that it's a gray area. It's agricultural, it's zone different. We'll have to look into it. Well, he might be able to do that. We don't know. And we need to know. We actually need to know. There's also an issue between my house and my neighbor's house. There's an easement. And this gentleman has let us know that he's planning to use that easement as a road.
That he can't.
He already told us. It's an easement, he's going to use
It doesn't matter what
it.
he says, he cannot use the easement.
So he's taking down the fence to get to that easement. And once he does that, the bomber trucks that drive behind our houses every day, every weekend, will then be coming down Chicory Trail, going down the easement, because he needs to access that, he says. So we're going to have bomber trucks running on an easement, which we told him you can't do that. And he said, yes, I can, it's an easement. So, Mayor, where do we go from here? What do we do? Who do we call, what do we do?
A couple of things, Mayor. In order to run a commercial business out of the property, if he's doing so, would require a special use permit. So we are trying to monitor that. That does get a little difficult if we don't have access into the buildings. I believe we have gotten access into the buildings. So we haven't determined that there's any business activity. He does have equipment there, but it doesn't appear to be utilized. So that's kind of an ongoing maintenance item. There is an unapproved right-of-way that's between Mrs. Haley's home and another home. He doesn't have the ability to use that. So that would be a code enforcement issue if he did try to use that. The drainage laws they are a little complicated, and I don't profess to be an expert on that. So I'd be happy to follow up with Mrs. Haley on that afterwards.
What I'd like to do is, can you come in tomorrow?
It would have to be in the evening. I work a full-time job.
That's okay, I know that feeling. What time can you make it?
5?
5?
I've got a commitment that meeting, but I can check with Mike. If not, we'll do it.
5 o'clock tomorrow, here,
Come here.
and we'll find out what we can do.
Okay. And as far as
This gray area.
the gentleman that came out there, Casey, he's the person who told me that there's now sheet metal in there. And also in the barn, he has 2 electrical meters. We've seen people come and go and work there. That's what it looks like. And usually if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So we're just concerned.
In court,
And if he's going to beautify it and use it for what it is, that's fine. Mayor, thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
I appreciate your time.
Has anyone looked in to see if he even has a business license?
I'm sorry, one more time.
Has anyone looked in to see if he even has a business license?
I don't believe he does.
I don't.
You did?
Well, no, I don't know he has a business license. I know his spring company, he manufactures torsion springs.
Okay.
And it used to be on Canton Farm Road in an industrial strip mall. And now it's not there anymore. Because I believe the shop is.
We'll get verification.
Right.
All right. We'll talk tomorrow, and we'll see if we can get this straightened out tomorrow. If not, we'll find out what we have to do.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. John, you want to talk again?
No, that's all right. Thank you.
You're quite welcome. You're on the list. Okay, public comment is done. Next is legislation and action items. I'd like to invite the members of the Homer Glen Junior Women's Club up to the podium for this next item. Tonight, on behalf of the Homer Glen Junior Women's Club, we are joined by President Karen L. Davis, Treasurer Marina Castro, Miss Lisa Johnson, and Miss Mary Lee. The Homer Glen Junior Women's Club is a non-for-profit organization founded in 2010 by residents Kathy Young and Rachel Chorley. The club fulfills its vision of a brighter tomorrow by donating funds and resources, hands-on service, extended volunteer opportunities to the community, and recognizing volunteer excellence, fostering educational endeavors, and providing a strong network to promote socialization, friendship, personal growth, leadership, and caring. I am honored to announce that the Homer Glen Junior Women's Club has awarded the village with a $24,000 grant to be used towards constructing a gazebo in Heritage Park. Our next item is a resolution recognizing the grant. Is there a motion to approve resolution number 18-002, a resolution recognizing a grant from the Homer Glen Junior Women's Club for the construction of a gazebo as part of the village's Heritage Park development? Trustee Truggy.
Second.
Trustee Gray. Discussion?
No discussion other than thank you.
Thanks. I know you guys have put a lot of time and effort into working with the village to try to get this finally to fruition, so we appreciate your due diligence and your commitment to it. We really appreciate it.
This is, to me, another example of the volunteers in this town who put in their time and effort, and in this case, donating dollars that save taxpayer dollars. And I think that sort of epitomizes what we try to do here in Homer Glen, and I think, the Junior Women's Club is a great example of that. So thank you very much.
I agree with what they're saying, and it gets better and better every year, so we can't thank you enough.
Thank you all.
With that, I'd like to inquire, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Caprio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Varian?
Aye.
Trustee Hengsky-Turkey?
Aye.
Motion carries. With that, I'd like to present a copy of the signed resolution to President Karen L. Davis. If I didn't sign it, you can. My wife does it. Wherever you want. So you tell me when, and I'll go there. Rita, okay? I'm going to come over here because otherwise some people won't be able to hear me, even though I do have a big mouth. Whereas the Village Heritage Park is currently being developed to serve as a community-wide public gathering space for Homer Glen, and the active core area of Heritage Park will include the following amenities: challenge course, fitness area, beanbag, platforms, bocce, horseshoe. Didn't we just hear this? Courts, pickleball courts, nature-based playground, tennis courts, sand, volleyball courts, and sensory garden featuring a gazebo. And the Homer Glen, I'm forgetting where it is because it's not. And Homer Glen Junior Women's Club, a local non-for-profit organization founded in 2010, has donated funds and resources, that's hand-on services opportunities, fostered educational endeavors and scholarships, and provided a strong network to promote socialization, friendship, personal growth, leadership, and caring in Homer Glen community. And the Homer Glen Women's Club began with 26 members and now has grown to a membership of 60 women and counting. The Homer Glen Junior Women's Club established a legacy fund with the purpose of raising funds to be used towards a project that aims to benefit all members of the Homer Glen community. And the Homer Glen Women's Club established Homer Glen Junior Women's Club has determined their legacy project to be funded with a gazebo within the village's Heritage Park. The Executive Board of the Homer Glen Junior Women's Club has voted in favor of awarding $24,000 legacy project grant to the Village of Homer Glen to be used towards constructing the gazebo in Heritage Park. Now, therefore, be resolved by the President and the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Homer Glen, Will County, Illinois, that the foregoing recitals are hereby incorporated into this resolution as if fully set forth herein. Oh, there's one. The Homer Glen Juniors Women's Club shall submit the specified amount of $24,000 to the Village of Homer Glen prior to substantial completion of the active core area of the Heritage Park development. Upon completion of the gazebo, a permanent recognition plaque shall be affixed to the gazebo recognizing the grant from the Homer Glen Junior Women's Club. The various portions of this resolution are hereby expressly declared to be severable, and the invalidated and any such portion of this resolution shall not affect the validity of any other portions of this resolution, which shall be enforced to its fullest extent possible. All ordinances or portions of the resolutions previously passed or adopted by the Village of Homer Glen that do not conflict with the inconsistent with the provisions of the resolution hereby. This resolution shall stay in full force and effect from and after its passage and approval. Thank you. That's yours.
May as well, while you're here.
There's a new tradition of dancing started tonight.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. Thanks again. Thanks for Okay. Next, is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-020, an ordinance establishing a temporary 100-day moratorium on the issuance of special use permits for wireless communication facilities effective immediately.
I so move.
Trustee Sweets?
I second.
Trustee Caprio, discussion. The reason we're putting a moratorium on it right now is we had Verizon put in a cellular tower, and where it went really shouldn't have gone out, but we can't stop it. So if the village wants to take some time to be able to look to see what we can do to whether, if they come back in the village and they want to open up, they don't put it in someone's backyard.
Mayor, I'd just like to add to that, we're also looking into seeing how we can get our first responders and EMA and sheriff, anybody in the future, access to those towers as well, if that's possible, and how we can try to get in front of that. So just to have staff and the attorney take a look at that and see what kind of language we can put in there.
That sounds good, because the way it is right now, they're going to charge us. We just got to put it here and it should have been free. Next, is there a motion to approve work authorization? Okay. We call it, call the roll, please.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Cabrio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Definitely.
Trustee Burden?
Aye.
Trustee Nancy Chouwaki? Aye.
Okay. Now, is there a motion to approve work authorization number 3 and 4 for Patrick Construction for the additional work related to the 2017 drainage improvement project number 2, various locations, in a combined amount of $45,415.96.
So moved.
Trustee Durian,
I'll second.
Trustee Sweet, discussion.
Did we just get a update on that? These are moving along. I know I see one of them every day in my subdivisions.
Yeah, they're actually finishing up the work on Eagle Ridge Drive, and then once that's completed, and the reason for the delay on that one was because of a 9-core pipeline that had to be adjusted. That's since been done. Once they complete that work, then it's just a matter of restoration. So it should be done fairly soon.
All set? Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray.
Aye.
Trustee Caprio.
Aye.
Trustee Rogers. Aye. Trustee Suisse.
Aye.
Trustee Dorian.
Aye.
Trustee Nancy Aye.
Motion carries. Number 5, is there a motion to appoint Todd Funfera to the Parade Festival Committee? Okay. Is there a motion to approve ordinance, Todd, hold back. Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-022, approving plan of subdivision for the proposed Duke subdivision located at 12513 West Hadley, Glen, Illinois? B, are we voting on these separately? Okay. Is there a motion to approve ordinance number 18-023, approving 1, map amendment, rezoning from A2 rural residential to R3 A single-family residential district, and 2, site plan with certain variances for the proposed Duke subdivision located at 12513 West Hadley Road, Homer, Glen, Illinois, with an additional condition to allow the village to locate a tornado siren pole on the detention pond parcel with proper access. So moved. Trustee Dorian.
Second.
Second. Keith. Okay. Trustee Gray. Discussion.
Is the developer, somebody here? Well, when you take a look at the property right across, right next to where this plot of land is, it is a lot larger lots. It seems like you're trying to cram in, 20 pounds in a 5-pound bag. Talk to, a lot of the residents want to protect the aesthetics of the neighborhood. And they were also, and I see that too, when you go to the back of their property line, there's a street, not even 10 feet away. They have backyards with pools. I mean, cars could be parking all along there. I think you don't have a choice, but it's a very bad design, and it's not becoming of the entire area.
Yeah, we feel like the subdivision itself is kind of consistent with, so if you took half the size of the Windsor Court, which has, I believe it's 23 lots, and we're about half the size of that, and we have 11 lots. So they're complementary in size. Our lots are a little bit deeper, but they're roughly around the same, so not too much difference. And with the location of the road, it's just we can't put the road in the low area because we would have no way to provide our detention storage. We can't put it in the street. So
if the road was to go on the west side of the property, that is where all the trees are that we're preserving. That's the whole tree line, that we're keeping back there and not disturbing. And that's part of the beauty of, the land there.
I understand that, but the piece of land is very narrow to begin with. So how big are your lots? How big are your lots? Because the map that we're looking at, they're quite a bit smaller. The Windsor Court properties are half acre lots.
they ranged from 90 foot wide to 100 foot wide on the ones that are facing to the east. That's an approximate width, and they're all 15,000 square feet lots.
And the 76-foot ones, or how much?
Those are the ones on the south, but they're really deep. They're all 15,000 square foot.
76 seems awfully narrow to try and stick a house in with the setbacks.
Well, it's 50, it would be a 56-foot wide house, yeah, which is, you can do a 3-car garage on a 56-foot wide house. I mean, I have multiple models that have that width.
construction traffic will be managed through this process, because I do know some people that live in the area that have called me, and they're concerned with construction traffic where that current dead end is.
Yes, well, in the plan commission, we spoke about putting a barrier there, which we would be, open to as long as the fire and police would be okay with that. We would put some, concrete barriers there, so no one would be able to use the Windsor Court.
So it'll be a managed process?
Yes.
I'd just like to mention, in the one of the planning commission meetings, it was mentioned about water flow to the west. Has that been taken care of? That's all been accommodated into the detention area?
Yes, yeah, we have to do with all the drainage, but yes, we have to contain our drainage and release it at a restricted rate.
And that's what you were talking about, the low area, the detention.
Yeah, the site drains to the west, but it will still be collected and detained.
And there's some sort of landscape buffer going in along the roadway, along the east side?
On the east side, yes, you can see part of the plans, you can see the heavy landscaping stuff to separate between the property lines that are there, yes.
Because what Trustees had said about cars parking along the street, there is going to be some sort of landscape buffer to cushion those existing homeowners.
Yes, and I believe you have some views of it. And
right, we have that in our packet, I think.
Yeah. And we actually changed that per the recommendation of Plan Commission and the residents there. Originally we had a path, and then we just did but they didn't want people that could potentially be walking along their fence line, so this was. And also the homes that are going to be built there are going to be consistent with the homes that I've been building in like the Glen Walk Estate subdivision. I believe you guys have some photos of them. They're all custom homes. They're not going to be a cookie cutter subdivision with any, repeats. It's going to be all custom homes, and it's a beautiful site with the tree line. I think it's going to be very attractive. And most of the lots there, 1 through 11, or 4 through 11 would be lookout and walkout lots.
Is there going to be a monument sign on Avenue? Or?
Yes, we'd like to have some sort of signage up there, yes.
How long do you expect this project to go? I know it's hard to say.
Well, it shouldn't take more than 2 years tops. It's 11 lots. It's not a giant project. It'll be something that we can, build a model home or two, and then, kind of go from there. I only have 2 lots left in Glen Walk.
Other than economics, you have the 3 76-foot lots. You couldn't have made those larger, just combined and made 2 back there. I know you'd rather sell them.
Right, because then that's like spot zoning. You want it dense, and then on Windsor Court, you want to build outside Windsor Court. It doesn't look like that.
Well, what is the width of the lots on Windsor Court? Kevin also.
I don't remember offhand.
Well, I know they're not big.
Well, sidewalk is fine. Sidewalks, now we don't want them no more?
No, there will be sidewalks.
We've moved the sidewalk to the other side of the street.
Yes, in front of the homes.
What about the elevations over there? Are those homes going to be walkouts, basement walkouts in the back?
We believe so, yeah.
Some look out and some walkouts, and then the 3 at the end would be flat.
So the ones that are on Windsor Court are totally all brick. They're huge. Why? I don't know, why do we have these frame homes in our packet? With it looks like brick about 12 inches up only, and the rest it's all frame.
So those were examples for the skinny lots. That's what the plan commission asked them to show models for the 3 skinny lots. That's what they provided.
Well, this isn't what you just said. They're supposed to look like the houses on Windsor Court.
They'll be consistent with the homes that we've done in Glen Walk, which are, I believe there's pictures in the packet. This is, I think those were more for like a floor plan perspective than so much an elevation. If you look at ranch homes and the 2 stories that we built, the ones we've actually built, and you can see the elevations of those.
Trustee Sweets, do you have that lighting back?
Page 6 and 7.
I don't have those.
Okay.
I have Glenview Walk, which are beautiful.
Right.
Well, I guess we're lucky.
So is this, which house is
You're gonna love these ones.
I have 2 sets.
No, the ones on pages 6 and 7 are the samples of 3 of the homes that we built in the Glenview Walk Estate subdivision.
Those on that page.
Mr. O'Malley, just to clarify, I believe you are proposing all first floor phases?
Yes, yeah, they'll be all brick on the first floor. Most of them will be brick all the way up in the front. And I think what's going to really go there are a lot of ranches, or some ranches, and those will be, entirely brick as well.
Price point?
I mean, with the price of the lots of construction today, it will be an upper 500 up from there. So that'll be, probably 575 for a base month, and that's the smallest one. I mean, some of the other homes we built in Glenview Walk have been in the 800s.
Sure. I would, when I look at this, I think this is a lot like, unfortunately, many pieces of land we have in town that, and I think as we've talked through this, I think Mr. O'Malley agreed, this isn't optimal, right? But this is taking a piece of buildable land and balancing both sides of someone that owns a piece of land and has a right to build on that, and has, in my opinion, when you look at Glenview Walk, a reputation in this town of building quality products. So I don't have concerns on that side. And if you're telling me that they're going to be similar to Glenview Walk, I think those are beautiful homes. And we're talking price points here that match, are in the neighborhood of the adjacent neighbors. So, and I would say that throughout this process, I think there's been flexibility on both sides in talking through, because this is a narrow strip, and trying to figure out what worked best at the least impact. And so, again, it's not optimal, but I think it's a plan that I can support. And again, I think you build a quality product, and your reputation in this town and the product you built is something that I'm comfortable with.
Anyone else?
Well, I'm just saying, we do have to think of the residents as well. They probably wouldn't have bought those lots if they knew housing that is on a tight, squished in there, basically, housing that doesn't look similar to theirs. Now they have a street in front, they have a street in back. What's the resale value of that property? Would you buy a house that have 2 streets, front and back, right there? No.
Well, I would say that we're going to see if these sell, one, but two, I think anytime you build a home or buy a home on an empty piece of land that's buildable property, that's a risk that's involved there. And that's what I said. There's a balance to me here of someone who owns a piece of land and has a right to build on that land. And these conversations have been back and forth of trying to make the best out of this of land and taking those things into account. And I think, remind me, I may be wrong on this, but the reason that street is like that is to save the trees on the back end of that property, correct?
Between that and the drainage, yeah, we want to work with the natural site as it is. Yeah.
Which is why the street's on that side, and we talked through that at length. So this is making the best of a not optimal situation, but it is.
And I agree, Trustee Sweets, that the street, while it's not common, it's not unique. There are other areas in the village where we have streets on both sides of houses. And as far as the view goes, what you had mentioned initially about people parking along the street and possibly peering into people's backyards, they are putting some sort of a landscape buffer along that side. As well as, if you've ever walked Heroes Trail, there are plenty of places where you are literally above people that are there, and you are looking down into yards. So, again, we took what we got with Heroes Trail because that was property that was given to us essentially. And, we impacted those neighbors as well. So I think they have done a fairly decent job of trying to mitigate the impact on the existing homeowners along the western edge of their new subdivision, the western edge of Windsor Court, the eastern edge of their subdivision. And like Justin Durian said, you know, it's not optimal, but they've gone a long way to make it help.
I did not have a chance to go through the minutes that you gave us today from the March 15th. Was there any public comments to this? 4 pages.
Regarding public comment.
Did the residents come out and were the residents?
Oh yeah, there were concerns about the property values, lack of privacy, and so that's one of the reasons why the Plan Commission wanted like 10-foot wide private strip, heavily landscaped. And as far as property values, they want to make sure the price points, you know, they started at $600,000. And the only issue they didn't really address are those 3 skinny lots at 76 foot wide.
And making sure, that's why Carlos' question, I think, was important, that, construction-wise, from a safety standpoint, I know someone at Plan Commission made comments about having small children and construction traffic over the course of the next few years. That's why it's important. I think it's important to make sure that we've got that blocked off for construction traffic. Would you agree? Yeah. Yes.
Well, just so you know, the Windsor Court lot widths are 113 feet wide, and now you're coming in at 76.5. So it is going to look different. It's going to look like a more crammed-in type of subdivision.
Well, I agree with trustees on the other side of the bench there. I mean, it's a quality product, but I'm not a fan of the 76-foot lot. That's my hang-up.
And the setbacks between them will still be the same. There's still distance between the homes. It's not, these may be a little bit deeper homes, but they're still, they're not closer together.
I would rather see it wider lots so it doesn't look, so it looks similar to Devour Woods is right across the street. It's a more open type of, you know, lots are bigger over there. I think it would look aesthetically better if you could increase the lot width.
I have one more question. Since you had said that you possibly would be putting up a monument sign, will there be an HOA?
Yes, required because of maintenance of the detention pond.
Okay.
So they'll be there for that, and then also the easement, or it'll be an outlot in between the road and the property line, so that'll all be maintained by the HOA also. And I think in the plan is also that all that landscape and everything will be done before the second permit, right. So that'll all be done relatively quick into the process.
You keep saying landscape, what type are you? What are you saying? You know, what type of landscape are you saying?
I believe we have it all in the packet there. There's a whole landscape plan and
we did
elevations here.
Landscape plan. All right.
Here's some views if this helps.
I didn't see that. Thank you. Sure. I'll give it back to you later.
Do you want to go over it, or can I move on? All right, well, moving on is going to be taking the vote first. Sharon, moving on, we'll be taking the vote first.
No, I would prefer the wider lots. And that maybe everybody see the landscape plan if they're interested, because we did not see this. Yeah, well, there's the book. It's right on top. You know, there's no space in here.
So that landscape down New Road will just be consistent on both sides all the way down?
Well, on the other
You'll
side
have
would be
the
parkway trees and stuff like that, and then the sidewalks are more of a traditional streetscape, where on the east side it's going to be pretty heavily screened.
Right. You didn't have to make any accommodations on the roadway, Duke? That's still in standard sizing? I'm saying Duke, I think that's the Duke.
Yeah.
course, should it be Brentwood with the other street across the street there? It lines up with Brentwood on the other side of Hadley.
We can discuss that just later.
No, I have no problem with it. I did.
No, I
say
whatever. I was just trying to make it.
Okay, does everyone see that? Are there any other questions or concerns? Yes, that's why you guys can continue. Okay, Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Cabrio?
Aye, but I'm not a fan of the size of the tree lots.
Trustee Rogers? Aye. Trustee Sweet?
No.
Trustee Vernon?
Aye.
Trustee Nancy Aye.
Motion carries. No second.
Thank you for all your time and hard work. I know this wasn't an easy one. Thank you very much.
Next, is there a motion to appoint Todd Finfer to the Parade Festival Committee?
So move.
Trustee Cabrio,
Second.
Trustee Gray, discussion?
I'd only like to say that Todd has been instrumental in the Parade and Festival Committee since I joined in 2010, I think. And we had an opportunity with a vacancy to appoint somebody, and I think he's the perfect appointee. He is a great man, and I think he'll do a lot of great things for us and brings a lot of wealth of knowledge to the community.
I agree. Should have been put on a few years ago.
You're only $5 for all that.
Any other comments or questions? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Cabrio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Sweet?
Aye.
Trustee Vernon?
Aye.
Trustee Nancy Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve the amended Mayor and Village Board Standard Operating Procedures SOP number 1, 2, 6, 11, 12, and 13? It is understood that the SOPs number 3, 5, 7 through 10, and 14 have not been amended this year.
So moved.
Durgan,
I'll second.
Mr. Tricky, discussion?
Yes, Mayor. Wait. This is, I have an issue with 12, which is the community room. I think we need to take another look at that as far as what we should allow in the community room as like maybe some materials, like paint, should not be allowed. There was a situation recently that staff had to go out and buy tape, plastic to cover up all the rugs. It took extra time, extra village assets to do this. It's because it was a paint, it was a class or something with painting for kids, a summer program. So either I know we take a credit card for cleanup if there's something like that, but I don't think, maybe certain materials should be banned. Because if it takes too much staff time, too much to clean up, to protect everything. So I think we should either not allow certain activities that include, say, items like that, like paint.
Did it clean up when it was all over with?
Yeah, Mr. J. Rob.
Right.
What, was it plastic under tables? I mean, was it?
No, to protect the rugs. So.
No, I know.
Right.
Yeah, no, I'm saying how much, was it plastic the whole room? Was it plastic?
The whole community room was, plastic was put down on the rugs.
Over the whole room?
Over on the rugs, over the entire, all the rugs
Floor.
in the community, all the flooring in the community.
No, that's, yeah, I know. That's
So
what I'm asking.
there's-
Was it underneath the tables that were being painted, or was it plastic from wall to wall? I'm asking, was it, I mean, I have.
Well, I mean, there wasn't any plastic on the walls.
No, wall
But
to
the
wall,
tables.
on the floor. What was it was under the tables, I'm assuming, where there's
Right.
going to be painting?
Right, and the tables weren't, they didn't bring their own covering and things like that. But I'm just saying, it causes it causes more work than we need to have happen.
I think part of having a community room is making it available to the widest range of activities for the public that we can. With that, does there come some minimal costs and some staff time? I think that's included with, again, operating a village and having a community room. Could we potentially explore, before we, I think, knee-jerk and ban things in there, maybe we could look into whether, if there is that amount of cost on something, we can look into, you know, some sort of, I don't know, either reimbursement or before we just start banning things.
I think it's easier to do that than to charge. They could do other activities or other arts and crafts than to charge them for it.
On rule number 12, I think you have a provision in here for damages and credit card.
There is, yeah.
Right, there is a for damages, but not for prep, you know, like the prep work, like putting down all the plastic and buying all the protections.
How many times has this been, has something like this
Well, I don't know if it's been
necessary?
I'm just bringing it up from a past experience.
I could say we hosted painting events where I work, and children events do get messy, and we've had to power wash. There's some things we can't get out. It depends on what it is, but we don't have carpet either, so it's easier to get it out of a cement floor or a tile or wood floor than it is a carpet. So I see Sharon's point, the prep work of it, maybe like Brian said, not restrict, but put stipulations on what they have to do before the event and after the event.
Or put a charge to it.
I would hate to bring the community in here though, and then slap charges on them just because they, you know what I mean? I'd rather have them be aware of what could happen, you know, and say, well, prep the best you can, and, you know, we'll adjust if necessary, and if you make damages, yes, we do have to charge you, and I'm sure most groups would understand. That's what we do.
I agree, and I would say also that if that does become a problem in the future, and it's been a few years now, and I guess it's not too worn looking back at right now, maybe we could look at taking, it is modular carpet, we could take a section out, put in tile, and say, you know, if there is going to be any less, try to keep it in those areas where it can be a little bit more cleaned up. So,
Well, the problem with tile, the reason I have some of the tiles in here, because it's so loud, it's going to.
I'm talking about just like back in the community area, so maybe a section of the community area.
Probably do that.
Yeah, so, and again, that's only if it becomes a problem in the future. Right now, it doesn't, I mean, we were just in that room, it doesn't.
Are you aware of issues that have occurred back there?
This was really a one-week event. It was a school district art function. We did go out and purchase the plastic, I'm going to call it saran wrap material, like you see at models. That was fairly easy to install. We did make sure we pulled it up each evening if we had an evening event. It does come through down quickly, it comes out quickly. To me, the bigger issue was just using, some of this is lessons learned using tablecloths, because there were some issues with the kids with markers. But I do agree, I think it still brings to doing business. Sometimes we actually run into bigger issues, I think, on homeowners association meetings with bringing in food or spilling coffee and those kinds of things. I think it ebbs and flows, and I think we kind of manage it along the way. There is definite staff time with setting up tables and chairs to specific designs. But again, that's the price of doing the business, and we're getting better at that, and we're better staffed at this kind of business.
Yeah, I'd rather have to pay for carpet cleaning on a regular basis or replace a tile once in a while, but know that the community room is being used all the time. I mean, I think that's the thought behind it was.
But I also think that we should put, you know, not restrictions, but like I said, give them rules to follow, because I don't want it to be a free-for-all, and then just like, oh, well, we're ruin it.
Yeah, agreed.
But that stipulation basically is.
And that's
the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and things are going to happen.
But I'd rather let them know, take caution, you know, beforehand, than just us running your credit card for $500 because you damaged your carpet. I would rather, you know, specify that ahead of time.
And that's being done.
Yes, and we can do a better job across the board.
So I mean, what we'll have to do then, Chairman, is just watch it, and see what happens. And if we have to make some changes, we can make some changes, but for really the first time that this has been an issue, and like Mike just said, it was for a week long.
ideas, so I'm surprised that's all they do. Okay, so we're good there? So I need a roll call.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Cabrio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers? Aye. Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Trustee Burien?
Aye.
Trustee Nancy Aye.
Motion carried. Number 7, is there a motion to assign a Class J liquor license, special event license to the Homer Township Road District for the Homer Community Festival occurring June 21st through June 24th, 2018. It is understood that the $200 fee for said license will be waived by the village.
I so move.
Mr. Cabrio,
I'll second.
Mr. Turkey, discussion. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gray?
Aye.
Trustee Cabrio?
Aye.
Trustee Rogers?
Aye.
Trustee Suisse?
Aye.
Trustee Burien?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was a great. Aye.
Trustee Nancy Aye.
Motion carries. Is there any old business? Is there any new business?
Yes, Mayor, I do have something.
What do you got?
I just want to bring up and remind staff, as what happened today, when the Plan Commission has more than one meeting, we need to give all the minutes to those meetings. Because there was, I asked BJ to send the first meeting of the O'Malley issue, because there was 4 pages of comments, the whole subdivision came out. And then the only thing that was included in the packet was the second meeting that has 2 people's comments. So we need, so the board gets all the information. We need, if there's more than one Plan Commission meeting, we need all those minutes, or drafts. Same with like the landscape plan. You know, there was a landscape plan, we didn't see it, so now we have to, you know, it makes us not look like we're getting all the info.
Okay. And then you should get all the information before you have to vote on something. I agree. So BJ, could we just make sure that we follow, if there is more than one meeting on, could we get both meetings? Okay. Is there any other new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Trustee Suisse?
I'll second.
Trustee Cabrio, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.